Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you haven't been before. My name's Watto, I wander about. That's Kim, say hello Kim.
Hello Kim.
That's Kim, she wanders about as well. Today we're having a look at a place called Hatton Locks, and we're going to take you with us. Wow, 21 of these locks. Pretty tired by the time you get to the bottom one, I should think. Well, today Hatton Locks is found on a stretch of the Grand Union Canal, but when it was first built in 1799 it was actually called the Birmingham and Warwick Canal, or Warwick and Birmingham Canal, built to carry locally mined coal to power the stations and factories around the Black Country. It's also a vital supply chain link between the Midlands and London. There's 21 of these locks altogether, taking us up the hill or down the hill, whichever way you look at it. And today it's a nice place for a visit. There's a cafe where you can sit and get a cup of coffee, obviously, or a cup of tea. There's a pub at the one end. It's just a really nice place for a walk. It's kept really well by the Canal and River Trust. It's a great place for a wander. Well, the plan was to launch the bird and get some nice aerial footage of down the locks. However, today, as we're on the end of October, there's about 50-mile-an-hour winds, so I'm not going to do it. I could do it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be sensible, which is a shame, because I would have liked to have shown you a nice bit of aerial footage. But it is literally just too windy, so the sensible person in me is saying don't do it. No, I'm not going to do it. I definitely wouldn't mind living there, right next to the canal. Somebody who enjoys fishing like I do. Beautiful. And you've got this outside your front door. Couldn't be a better spot. Well, We keep wandering down. I think this is the top lock, and we're going to wander all the way down the whole lock now. One thing to tell you guys is today is our wedding anniversary, isn't it? And we're on a little romantic weekend away. 27 years ago today, we tied the knot. Seems like a lifetime, doesn't it? Yeah. Right, let's continue on. Right, well, this boat beside me is what's called a piling rig or a piling boat. We've just been reading about it on the sign back there. A gang would work on it. It would pull up alongside sections of the canal that was eroded and needed repair, and they would drive piles into the side and keep the banks from falling in. Kim's stopping every few feet to take pictures. The actual span of the locks altogether is just under 2 miles really, so it's quite a steep incline, and that explains why there's 21 locks. Making our way down the locks. We're coming across the canal now over the little bridge. Make our way further down the Flight, as it's called. One of Kim's favourite insects here, only it is pretty big. Bit scary that one, eh? Yes. I'm guessing that these buildings on this side, because it's nice and flat, have been some kind of loading or unloading dock. You can see, as you can probably hear in the background, the railway's just over the way as well. I won't. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we post photos that we take when we're wandering. And also, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee if you want. The links in the description below. In this lock, so it's at the level where the boat can just come straight into it, then let the water out, down the next flight, so on, so on, so on, 21 times. Wow, it is what we call proper windy. Just had a little fight with myself in my head again about launching the drone up. No, don't do it.
Looks to me as if we're about to get very wet.
That's what I like, is all the way along these little ponds and pools, which may have been turning areas, I guess, at one time, or places where the boats would moor up, maybe, I don't really know. But it makes for nice little like wildlife areas as well as you walk along. It's not just a dead straight canal. Well, we've just been speaking to a very nice gentleman called David, who's given us a load of fantastic information to help us understand a few things, what was going on and what he was doing with the locks. So big shout out, David, you know who you are if you're watching. Thank you very much.
David the Lockman.
So following on down, we have found out from David that the little, what we thought was maybe holding areas for boats, is actually the little areas on the side there. He called them, what were they called? Pounds. So it's actually storage for water, because the water level between each lock, there's not a lot of space and it fluctuates the levels. They need the extra bit of area for the water to store it. Very interesting guy to speak to. So if you are down here walking along the towpath and you see a guy called David, stop and speak to him, because he is very knowledgeable. Slowly making our way down. What we have found out is the original locks, 1799, are the ones, I don't know if you can see, to the left there as we were looking. That's the original locks, which are quite narrow. And I think 1927 they put the wider ones in just to speed things up and almost make it like a motorway to London. So what David did tell us is, at the moment what they're doing is adjusting the locks to try and give a clear run to a boat that's coming up the hill, the incline, the flight, whatever you want to call it. And he has told us that today so far he's had 13 boats come through, which is pretty busy. So you can imagine the guy coming up probably had to wait for 13 boats coming down. This bridge we're coming up on now is called Middle Bridge, for the simple reason of it's halfway halfway between the top and the bottom, or the bottom and the top, whichever way you want to look at it. And here's the boat that's coming up. Well, if I remember right from what David told us, is this bit that I'm stood on now basically is the original lock. So you can see the difference in width. We'll just spin you around and show you. You can see the width of that lock, and then obviously the difference in width to these ones. Which obviously speeded things up. Another interesting fact about the locks is the ones further down have a 7-foot drop, and the ones further up that way have an 8-foot drop. So what they did is put bigger paddles in the ones up there, so you get the same filling time and doesn't get a log jam of boats when they're trying to come up. Right, let's go and have a look at Middle Bridge. If you're wondering what the numbers are on the bridges, each bridge on the canal has a number, and it's relative to their number from the start of the canal. So that particular one, middle bridge, is number 53. So it's the 53rd bridge from the start of the canal. Right, well this will give you some idea of how many locks there is and what it takes to get up the flight, because this is only halfway. Halfway up, halfway down. This is the bottom lock, Hatton bottom lock. That's all 21. You look back up that way. That's where we came from. And this is the last one. Right, make our way back up. Right, just before we make our way back up, just got to give a little special shout out to somebody who I know who loves watch every one of our videos, and that is Cohen. So you know who you are. Here's a little shout out for you. Keep wandering, my friend, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, Cohen.
Bye, Cohen. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little trip to Hatton Locks today. We've showed you most of them. We have now got to leg it back to the car because we're running out of car park time, and we don't want to fine, do we? So if you're in the area, Hatton, come and have a visit. Don't forget, if you like what you see, hit the like button, drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Say goodbye, Kim.
Bye, Kim.
Bye, Ken.